What I find very fascinating is that you've done your training and your education in San Francisco.
I wanted to learn the craft. I went to San Francisco. I studied there. In 1 year, we made like 30 short films. Like I worked on different projects.
Why a Marathi film as your first film?
So when I moved to US for pursuing filmmaking, the conversation that I had with my parents was that when you come back and when you're doing your first feature, it has to be Marathi. So I think I'm just fulfilling my promise to my parents by doing the first film in Marathi.
You have plans of maybe making a film down in the West after this?
And I'm already working on my future scripts. And hopefully, once this film releases, we will be announcing the future projects soon.
Navjyot, welcome. कैसे हैं आप?
मैं ठीक हूँ, आप कैसे हो? Thank you for inviting me.
बहुत बहुत बढ़िया. So interestingly, this is Gharat Ganpati, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I just want to be very sure because I've lived in Bombay for 22 years, so I have to be very particular about the Marathi. I'm a huge fan of Marathi cinema. I think in India, Marathi and Malayalam cinema, I think they're two cinemas which are absolutely brilliant, and the world should get to know about them. And okay, so this is your first film. You produced it and you directed it as well. What I find very fascinating is that you've done your training and your education in San Francisco, and then you have made a few shorts and decided to make a Marathi film. Interestingly, so tell me something about your journey and why a Marathi film as your first film.
So actually, I started like 10 years back, and I'm actually a postgraduate in biochemistry. I'm from a Ruya college, but I was always inclined towards art, and I used to always, I was a cultural head. So post graduation, I wanted to do something into films, and then I just one day decided, let me just try being a filmmaker. And my philosophy is that instead of just going directly on set, and trying to learn the crafts, which is also what a lot of people do, I wanted to learn the craft. So I went to San Francisco. I studied there. In 1 year, we made like 30 short films. Like I worked on different projects. And then after graduating, I moved back. I formed my own production house. So for the last 7-8 years, we've been doing a lot of TV campaigns. I did my previous short film called Quarter, which went to Cannes, 25 international film festivals. We got around 10 international awards. And a lot of people have been asking me, why have been you waiting for such a long time to make your first feature? I think for me, it is more about finding the right story that resonates with me primarily, and then eventually I with conviction I would be able to do it. So hence I decided to tell this story about Ganpati Bappa, because I think we have always seen a lot of songs coming out on Ganpati, but there's been no story which revolves around the Ganpati festival. And being in Maharashtra, especially in Mumbai, as you also know, Ganpati festival is like a big deal. It's very special to everyone living here. So I was like, why not, write a story which revolves around him, and bring it to the people.
When it comes to Marathi cinema, I think the storytelling is fascinating. The writing is very good. Technically, it's a very good industry, especially the camera work. I think Marathi films have had some really wonderful cinematographers, which is absolutely wonderful. And even Gharat Ganpati, the promo, the response has been very good. People are already talking about the innovative. I think storytelling. It's like a family drama, but at the same time, there is a subtext to it, which is quite interesting as well.
Yeah.
What does storytelling mean to you? And what's the importance of simplicity in storytelling?
I think for me, storytelling is, I think it's Martin Scorsese has said it once, and which has resonated with me for a very long time, that your personal is the most creative. So this is something I truly believe in. I'm telling this story with my experience. So I come from a very native place called Kolhapur in Maharashtra. We have been celebrating Ganpati festival in our ancestral home for last 75 years. So from my very young age, I have seen and I've been part of Ganpati celebrations. And the beauty about this film is we are portraying the importance of joint family, which, in today's world, I think the generation is kind of missing. So what used to happen is every year I used to travel to Kolhapur for Ganpati festival, and all our relatives used to come under one roof. So imagine having 15 to 20 people staying in one house. It is so much fun, but it also leads to so much chaos, you know. And I mean that's the simple way of portraying today's Indian families, I think.
Right. And what is the importance of simplicity when it comes to storytelling?
I think simplicity it is what I think people connect to. I mean, people do want to see something which they can resonate with. People do wanna enjoy a simple film in terms of story where they want to just go with the family and enjoy it together. Because in today's world, I think not many films are made which your entire family can go together and have that 2 hours of cinematic experience and come back home. So I think, yeah, simplicity is very important.
Considering you've made these shorts, they've won several awards, showcased in festivals like Cannes, for example, and many others. Why is it? First thing that one would think is that maybe he would make like a film, maybe in say Hollywood, for example, like a Manoj Shyamalan or something like that. But
Yeah.
not only you're coming back to India, you're not merely making like a Bollywood or a Hindi film. You're actually going back to your roots and making a Marathi film. I'm sure that that must be something that you must have been told about. That it's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, because I'm extremely proud of my roots. I think I am what I am today because of my roots and my culture. And there's a very simple story behind it. So when I moved to US for pursuing filmmaking, the conversation that I had with my parents was that when you come back and when you're doing your first feature, it has to be Marathi. First film needs to be our Marathi own language, and then you can pursue whatever you want to do. So I think I'm just fulfilling my promise to my parents by doing the first film in Marathi. And coincidentally, the subject is such that you cannot portray it in a different language as of now. So I think it has come together very well, and I'm very happy that actually my parents are very happy that बच्चे ने हमारी बात सुन ली and he's making his first film in Marathi.
Right. And there's an interesting dialogue that Nikita is saying and about momos and modak, which
Yeah.
is pretty interesting. And that's something which is, I think, it's deeply cultural as well, because
Yes.
people in Maharashtra will relate to modak instantly, but maybe people who are not from Maharashtra, they will have a bit of a time in terms of getting used to it. Is it like a cultural affinity as well that you're trying to create as well, in a way?
Yes, I am because, like I said, this is the first time a film has been made around Ganpati festival. So we are definitely showing the entire depths of how do you host Ganpati till Visarjan, what kind of pujas are done. Interestingly, what happens in Konkan, like in Mumbai, we have Ganpati festival, like we call Ganesh Utsav, but in the Konkan region of Maharashtra, it's called Gauri Ganpati because Gauri, who's mother of Ganesha, she comes on like say third or fourth day, depending upon the tithi. She stays with Ganpati, and it is said that eventually on Visarjan, she takes her son back home. So we are portraying the importance and the cultural traditions around Gauri Ganpati, which I think it's very important because the next generation here today has no idea of our beautiful traditions that we have. So I'm hoping that through my film, people get to see that and continue the traditions for long.
You have plans of maybe making a film down in the West after this?
Yes, yes. I mean, I'm already working on my future scripts, and hopefully, once this film releases, we will be announcing the future projects soon.
And that is going to be in Hollywood?
Not yet. Hollywood is a long-term plan. There's something that is going in the pipeline for last couple of years, but I don't see it happening in next couple of years for sure. But my next venture is going to be in Hindi.
Okay. And is it like a mainstream film? What exactly is it?
Yes, mainstream, mainstream.
And which is the production house? Are you working with the production house?
I have my own production house, so initially it is me by myself.
Okay, and what sort of star cast are you looking at?
I have not got into yet because we're still into. So to be very honest, Vidun, I have four scripts with me, uh, and what how I like to work is I like to write my own scripts so that I can tell the story the way I want to tell. So I'm contemplating between the four that which one should go on floor first. But these next four projects, the stories that I want to tell are very close to me. So I think once the whole release and everything of Garak Ganpati happens, I will take a little breather so I can focus on my next venture.
Interesting. Okay, and tell us something about your favorite filmmakers and actors in West as well as India.
There is no particular one person that I follow, but there are the craft, particular craft who of every individual is what fascinates me. I think when you speak of, for example, Indian cinema, I think. I'm heavily inspired by Sanjay Leela Bhansali sir for the sheer grandness and sheer detailing that he does. Similarly, I don't think that anyone can tell a drama and a family story as good as Karan Johar sir. And for in Marathi, I think we have Aditya Sarpotdar, who's also a dear friend right now. Like he's doing some interesting work. So it's not like one person that inspires me, but it's the kind of storytelling that they are doing is what I look up to.
What about filmmakers in the West?
I think in West, definitely two people I love their work. One is Tim Burton for the sheer genre that he is into. Then, without a doubt, Christopher Nolan for the whole taking you on a cinematic journey as well as a mental journey and together. And I think similar to telling a different type of character driven stories, I think I'm also inspired by Wes Anderson.
Okay, what about actors in India as well as abroad?
Abroad, I'm a massive fan of Meryl Streep, like massive fan. Like the craft that she has, I think it's unparalleled today. So like that is one person I always love taking name of. In India, I think personally I'm a big Shah Rukh fan uh, from childhood. Uh, yeah, and I think who else? I mean, I can't get a particular name because every time I think of some actor, I go back to their character, like what performance they have done.
Okay, what about actresses? And any actresses in India that you really like?
I think I am a massive fan of all the, if this is the right way of saying, 90s के जो heroine थे ना. Uh, so like Kajol, Tabu, Karishma Kapoor, Sridevi, because for the sheer confidence they had in doing things that they did in their 90s. And I mean, for me, they were the true superstars, which I think the stardom that they had is kind of somewhat missing for today's new age actors. So I think I'm a massive fan of all the 90s heroines.
What are the films that have really inspired you? If you talk about West as well as India.
In India, I think all Sanjay Leela Bhansali films it inspires me because I look at it in a very different perspective. The way characters are portrayed, the way story is being told. Secondly, I love Gangs of Wasseypur by Anurag Kashyap. That was a different experience for me, and I truly enjoyed it. Then I think in Marathi, if you see Natrang by Ravi Jadhav
Of
was
course,
something it moved me. Then Killa by Amina Sharin. So that
of
was
course.
something close is still close to my heart because Killa was also one of the inspiration of taking Garat Ganpati to Konkan and portraying it in a different way.
Killa had brilliant camera work, and the
Yes,
interiors
yes.
of Maharashtra. I think that the way they have been captured was absolutely stunning, which is always a wonderful sight. So Navjot, congratulations for your journey so far, and
Thank you,
looks very interesting. And I think we have high hopes from you
thank
of
you.
just taking India's I think, name to the West, as well as obviously I think Marathi and Hindi cinema is something that is going to get benefited from
Yes.
you very soon as well. So all the best
Yes.
wishes, and I'm
Thank you.
hopeful that the film will do extremely well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for that.